and say Salon.
All right.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, Salome! Hi guys, welcome to the first Salome Roundtable. My name is Daniela Salome. This is my awesome family. Today we're going to introduce to you our entire family history, and I'm just going to start by introducing everybody here. So that's Joe Salome, the amazing barber down the street. This is Cindy Salome, his sister. Tara, my cousin. That's my grandpa, Joe Salome. Pretty much started it all. Mark is Joe's son. Cabrina is my twin sister, and that's Kyle. He's my cousin. So why don't we get started? Grandpa, do you mind telling us a little bit of the history of the Salome family?
Well, my father was a barber. My brother Anthony was a barber. And my sister Josephine was responsible for me being a barber by enrolling me in beauty school. And through beauty school, I met my wife, and the rest is family issues.
Oh,
So I can't, unless you want me fill you in about all their lives.
but when you first met Mom, you went over to try to help her. You said, "Can I help you a little bit?" And then she said, "What are you, some sort of wise guy?" And you were her wise guy, so
I was being nice, I thought.
right. So you didn't talk to her for another 2 to 3 weeks,
And then she came over and asked me to do her hair.
right?
And from that minute on, we went together.
Aww.
How old were you when you were in hair school?
How old was I? 22.
22?
He got back from the service, so he wasn't really doing much. So his sister said, "Listen, why don't you go to hairdressing school? If you go to hairdressing school, you'll meet girls." And you'll
That's not true. Not from my sister. But the thing was, I got $100 a month from the GIs, you know, the GI Bill. And I figured I worked on a railroad, and I said, well, I'll get $100 a month, and had no intentions ever doing hair. And that's my history.
That's your history.
And you forgot about Uncle Jimmy, Tara's father. You forgot to mention him too.
And Uncle John.
And Uncle John. Yeah, I think you threw his name in there somewhere.
Yeah,
Still
Right.
here.
Still doing hair.
I think that she would put that in there.
Uncle John still works.
Yeah, Uncle John is 70, what do you think, how old is Uncle John now? 80. Maybe he's 80.
Wow. And he's still
He looks great.
He's still doing hair.
the same guests that you did when
Yeah, he's doing the same customers that I did back in the late 50s.
Wow.
And they're still alive.
How many of you like did hair?
Huh?
How many of you did hair? Like out of all of your brothers and sisters?
That's a good question.
2, 3, 4. About 4 out of 5 boys did hair.
And how many family members do you have? You guys
16.
whole world.
16.
16.
Yeah.
16 brothers and sisters.
And
They just keep
Tara's
reproducing.
dad is your the youngest boy, right?
The baby.
Baby.
Jim.
Got 2 bicycles.
He did that. He's got 2 guys.
None of us ever had a bicycle.
Oh, but Jim
Well,
has
wait a
2.
minute. Anthony did get a bicycle when he was 16, but then Jimmy was the last one, and my father went out and bought him a bicycle. And he said, "Don't take this bicycle out of your hands." So he went up to the Russo store, and he went in. When he came out, the bike was stolen. So my father bought him.
Did he start crying? Zed?
No.
Oh, I just was bicycle.
But anyhow, my father bought him another bicycle.
He was probably crying. Yeah, he play it out.
2 bicycles out of 16 kids.
Yeah. And Pat threw that one in there too. She's like, "I'll never forget.
Yeah,
Jimmy got 2 bicycles."
yeah.
And your dad is a barber at the same location for 51 years.
51 years.
Tara, how'd you get started in it all?
Let's see. I had no idea what I was going to do, and came college time. My dad said, "Why don't you stay in hair school?" So he said, "You could take over the family business if anything happens to me." I said, "All right, I'll try it out." So I did, and a lot of years later, here I am. I wouldn't change a thing.
Awesome. And you have 2 salons now.
2 salons now, one in Fairmount and one in Manayunk. So keep me busy, keep it happen. That's all good.
And Jimmy's working at, young Jimmy just works at the one.
The Fairmount one.
The Fairmount one.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's not working in
The Main Street.
the Main Street?
No.
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 I thought he was.
He was, and then he got a little taste of a busy shop
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
versus a startup shop.
So is he working there when your father's there also? Or
Yeah.
no? So they're
Yeah.
both working there together then?
Yeah.
Okay. And he's doing more of the younger guys now, is that what's happening?
Yeah, for the most part. And just, you know, they're just barbers, so
Yeah.
they just do the guys.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they're, you know, keep busy.
How long has little Jimmy been doing it for? Because you got Big Jimmy and Little Jimmy.
Yeah.
Big Jimmy for like 51 years and then Little Jimmy
Yeah,
for
Jimmy like a year.
a year he just started doing
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
it.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the same thing's happening in our shop now. I mean, guys are starting to ask for younger guys now, for Mark and Kyle, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I still have my guys that I really enjoy doing.
Uncle Joe, we still have guys coming in here talking about you too.
Yeah.
Talking
Yeah.
about me.
Hey, overcharge.
I said, as long as they're talking about you, it's a good thing. Once they don't talk about you, forget it.
Forget it.
It's like this new haircut. I had to grow long hair, and I got it cut, and everyone who comes in, they always have an opinion about it. It's either good or bad, but somebody's got an opinion.
You love it or hate it.
Love it or hate it. They hate it. If they hate it, I say Kyle did it. They love it.
But Tara, Alexis works with you too, so that's also
Yeah.
that's our
That's
cousin
our
as well.
cousin, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So Alexis's mom is our first cousin. And yeah, Alexis is very talented, passionate.
How old is she?
She's 27.
Is she really?
I know.
No.
27.
Yeah.
It looks like
Wow.
a teenager.
I know. I think
Wow,
she's
she's
just
young.
Yeah.
Well, we don't want to talk about her age yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with age.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I know, because she looks like she's like 19.
Yeah, no more either.
I know. Yeah, but
Yeah.
now she's awesome.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
Then you got Jimmy, then you have your other cousin, and then same as us, we all like had in the family.
And how old is Jimmy now?
Jimmy's 30.
He's 30.
Yeah,
And your mother's cousin.
He jumped in the game late.
he did. Because he still does his Comcast sports stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does that whole
He-
filming thing.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's busy with both.
And he's got a nice name with Comcast too, so.
Yeah, he likes it. He likes
Yeah.
it. I mean, he's a sports fan, so he likes
Right.
that. But he really was interested in getting behind the chair.
And he loves it.
And he loves it.
And he loves it.
He's so social.
He's so
you
social,
know? He's
right.
just like, it's like,
Right.
you know, we hang out all day and make
Yeah.
people feel good.
Mhm.
It's great.
We're all meant to
Yeah,
be
it's
in
the
it.
main thing with the hairdresser. It's just being social. being
Yeah.
able to- Yeah.
Yeah.
Main thing with the shop is that you have to be there when your hours are there, you
Yeah.
know, and you have to treat people really good, but you have to be there. In
Yeah.
other words, like when you first start out in a business, a lot of people fail in this business because what they do is when they're slow, they leave.
Yeah.
Or they start coming in later,
Yeah.
or they start, they'll go out to
Take a
lunch.
2-hour break.
They'll take a 2-hour break, and then what happens is you lose people because if somebody stops by and if they see your clothes, then you lost that person. The worst thing that I hate in the shop is like when we get really busy and we're barbers, we're going. But I hate to see someone walk in and walk out.
Yeah.
And just that like galls at me because what happens is if they do that once or twice or 3 times, on the 3rd time you lost that person and they're not coming back. So I don't let anybody walk out the shop. I'll tell them, listen, you know what, you have this amount of time, sit down, relax, you know, read a paper, listen, we have Frank Sinatra on.
Well, now that we got 3 people going, it's
Yeah.
it's definitely a lot
Yeah.
easier, you know,
Yeah,
going through all the clients that we get, you know,
Yeah.
coming in.
no doubt. But, I mean, you don't want anybody to walk out.
No,
Yeah, but the
no
other thing
wires.
is, Joe, you don't want to lose the customer sitting in the chair to make him feel like you're rushing him.
No, you
Yeah.
can't rush them, but you just gotta make them aware, like, hey, you know what, sit down for a minute. I've done that a number of times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody will walk in, and you see them kind of getting hurried.
Yeah.
You see them kind of getting to the point where you see them eyeing that door.
Yeah.
And I just tell them, look, man, just relax for a minute. Just take that 20 minutes, half hour,
Yeah. relax.
decompress a little bit, and then once they do that, they're happy. Then when they get in the chair, they're like, you know what, that was the right thing to do, just to relax, because today everybody's hurried. Today,
Yeah,
and it's
it's
with the
fast.
computer.
Oh my God, cell
Yeah.
phones and everything.
And with the computer, you get things instantaneous now. So you get whatever you want to buy is right now, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to book an appointment is right now. So to take that minute is a lot more difficult now than it was 20 years ago. So you have to make people just chill out and relax. And when you do that, that's when you win.
Yeah. What about you, Aunt Cindy and Uncle Joe? Tell your story. How did you guys get started? I know Aunt Cindy, she works with my dad's stuff too. So that's cool.
Well, Joe, you were in Philly
Yeah,
first. So
I was in Philly first.
You were on the G first. You were on the G.
And I was selling barber supplies and beauty supplies, and I was just passing by this one location on Girard Avenue, and I just didn't like the selling of the supplies. It just was not my thing. You know, it was just, I'm more of like a just relaxed sort of a guy.
When was that?
And that's smart.
What year?
About 1990.
So what were you doing?
Selling barber supplies and beauty supplies.
Man,
Oh, you were selling
I never knew
it.
that.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I would go around all the shops, so I knew the areas. I knew this area.
So you were a traveling salesman for
Yes.
all the bar
And I knew,
and
yes, and I knew this. I knew the city pretty well.
Yeah.
Because I would go to all the
knew all the
areas.
barbers.
So I knew this area, but I didn't know the name of this area. And I just always liked the quaint streets, the tightness of it. You know, it was always super clean. So I was driving down Girard Avenue and I saw these two guys working on a property, and I said, that's my property. And I pulled over and I wrote them a check, and that was it.
That was your first shop, right?
That was the first shop.
Yeah.
And then the second shop, what happened was I became friends with the guy who owned our property that we're at right now. And then when he passed away, he always told me how beautiful it was, but he was real strange. He would not let anybody go in the property.
Yeah.
So when he passed away, he had one remaining heir who was in her 70s, and she just wanted to sell the property. So I bought it within 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It was
You're
like,
like, done,
boom, boom,
sold.
boom, yeah. And I went there and it was beautiful, and it was just, I mean, it was beat up. It was a big smoker, stains all over the ceiling and whatnot, and carpet on the ground that, you know, had to be torn up. But when I tore it up, I had beautiful hardwood floors. The wallpaper just came right off the wall. The walls were in perfect condition.
Wow.
Had the fireplaces that were in perfect condition. So I had a little gem there that worked out.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So it worked out good. And what we did was, when we closed on that Saturday across the street, because we were right across the street, we threw the things in threw the stations in a pickup truck, ran it across the other side of the street, and we opened up Tuesday morning. I just put the mirrors against the wall, on the floor, and we just ran extension cords all over. And this little kid came in the shop, and he was like, hey, he goes, hey, this looks like a house in here. And I said, it is a house.
Good observation.
Yeah, good observation. We live upstairs. And he's like, we had this beautiful molding on the walls and everything. He's like, I guess it looks okay, but you got to get rid of all that stuff up there on the walls. And I just went along with him. I was like, yeah, you know what, you're right. I can't stand it either. But I would never take that off the walls. It's too beautiful. Yeah, but that's how we started. Just one thing led to another.
Who was the first guy you worked with? Like the
Kevin
first...
Mulholland.
Kevin?
Yeah, Roman Catholic kid came in the shop and just said that he's going to be working here. And I was like, all right, you know, whatever you want, you know. And he was in there that week. He said, he goes, I want to work here. And I was like, oh, well, come on over. Yeah, whatever you want, you know.
Grab a room.
Yeah.
And you used to be a social studies teacher.
Yeah.
What made you not want to do that
It just
anymore?
wasn't my thing. Like every shop I would go into when I was younger, I always knew this was my thing. This was, I always feel great in shops.
How long were you a
Salons.
teacher for?
Well, just when I got out of school, just basically substitute teaching and coaching wrestling.
Oh, you taught wrestling?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
2 years.
Beast.
Yeah.
How many kids have you gotten to get in hair business?
A lot. No, I mean, no, it's not for everybody. It's a work in business, and I always tell people it's physical.
Oh,
So
yeah.
if you want to do it, you have to realize that you have to be that type of person to really like people and to stand for 10 or 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
Because that's what you do.
And just go.
It's physical, and you just got to put your head down and you just have to go. So it's for some people, but it's not for a lot of people. Because if you really don't like people, and if you really don't like to work, then don't do this job. Because that's the type of job that this job is.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but if you do, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It'll treat you what you put into it.
Yeah.
That's what it does.
It's rewarding.
It's rewarding.
rewarding.
It's rewarding.
Especially when you have those relationships built for the years. I think
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
most amazing thing about
Yeah.
it is the relationships.
Yeah, like I'm sure like Uncle Jimmy, like you have the, you know, you have the grandfathers that you were doing, then you have the fathers, then you have the kids, now you have the kids' kids.
Four generations.
Now you have the kids' kids coming in.
Yeah, it's 4 generations.
And this is part of the family that you guys don't know.
Michael's up Meadowbrook.
Michael's a Meadowbrook.
That's Aunt Mary's son-in-law.
Let me see this.
Is that a salon?
Yeah.
And where?
And is it on Union Avenue?
Yeah.
In Philly or Pennsylvania?
Oh, Jersey.
Jersey.
And Marie is a hairdresser, his wife.
Mom's sister.
Mom's niece.
Mom's niece.
Right.
Well, my dad does hair, so I grew up getting, my dad was cutting bobs on me since I was 5. So I was in the salon my whole life, that's all I knew. So I never thought about doing hair, it's the weirdest thing. I guess when you grow up in something, you don't really think about it. Like, you're so used to being in there, you're talking to someone and dad's like, go do the shampoo, Cabri, and I'm like doing a shampoo and, second home. That's all I knew my whole life. So for me, I was not good in school. I just did not work well. I can't do math. I'm horrible. I got fired from a job in California because I couldn't do math and the whole computer system. He's like, well, we're gonna have to fire. The first job I've ever been fired for because I couldn't do the front desk or the closeout. And I cried all day with a 6-pack of beer in my apartment in LA because I couldn't do it. And I was like, I'm getting back up and doing it. But I thought about going through being a chef. I wanted to do something in the arts, and I loved fashion, and I loved makeup, and I loved hair. And in school, you have to do a graduation project. So my junior year, I'm like, I'm gonna do a makeover because I loved fashion and makeup and hair and everything. And my dad's like, well, here, come in here and get Jenna, my dad hated, talking about Jenna. She kind of screwed over the salon, but
not Jenna.
Yeah, not Jenna. But she was teaching me some foils. I'm like, oh, this is something I really want to do. Because, I was like, I didn't know what I was going to do. I was going to go to Bucks. And then my Uncle Chris called me one day. He's like, come down to Florida, go to the Salon Professional Academy. And right now, that's their brother. And he's like, come down, you can stay with me, and I ended up staying with my grandparents down there for the year. Went to hair school in Tampa, and worked in my uncle's salon for a little bit. And then after that year of school, my dad called me, and he's like, look, why don't you just come up north? So I just said, you know what, I'm gonna go back up and train with my dad. And my dad's been in Bologna, he's trained in Italy, and he's always been pushing me to be the best I could be. He was never too hard on me, but never too easy. He was a phenomenal mentor, and I think our whole family is phenomenal mentors. But so that's pretty much the start. I was living in Los Angeles for 2 years as well, and I've been to London. I've done some hair in London, and I was in New York for about a year. My dad's like, go, do it, do some classes. He always pushed me into it. If I didn't have him, pushing me, and it wouldn't make me who I am today through some of the stuff he's done for me. So, but that's my story. And then my sister came to Florida and went to film school with me. She'll tell you her thing.
Your twin sister?
My twin sister.
Yeah, so I actually didn't think I would do hair either. I just knew I could do a really good shampoo and make a lot of money doing that. So that's what I did. I worked in my dad's salon since I was 15, and I made a ton of money doing shampoo and assisting. So that was awesome. And then I started to realize, oh, you can make a lot of money in this industry, and you can dress how you want, look how you want, and be who you want. And there's not many jobs that give you that type of freedom. And then on top of it, making your own schedule, which is the cherry on top, in my opinion. So I was in film. I still put those together today, like this YouTube show you guys are watching. And now this is what I want to bring to all of you guys. So this is my family, and I really hope you guys love watching this and would like to learn more. We're going to have tutorials. More guest speakers are going to come in and introduce themselves. We're going to introduce you to Fishtown and Philly. And keep watching this YouTube channel, and we'll see you guys soon. Put your hands in. Hands in! Sulimay!
Please like and subscribe if you want to see more videos. And also don't forget to leave a comment below if you have any topics that you want us to talk about at the Salome Roundtable. Thanks again, guys. We really appreciate it. See you soon. Bye!